What's up, guys? How's it going? MikeTheTech here, and in this video, I'm going to show you the product of my new GameDev.tv course. So, if you take this course, you're going to make this game from scratch. It's a vertical slice from start to finish, including not just creating the various items and importing metahumans and megascans and doing all that stuff, but even packaging your game and creating a save system and all that good stuff. And I'm going to show you what we end up making in the course and kind of give you a quick walkthrough, and hopefully you'll want to check it out. I'll put the link in the description, and of course, if you use my code, you get a massive discount from my community. We get the entire course for about $15, so that's like 90% off or something like that. So it's a great deal. Definitely check it out. There's, I think, 80 lectures, over 11 to 12 hours of content or something to make this game, and I just know you're going to learn a lot, and I hope you like it. Before we get started, if you're watching this video, chances are you're not subscribed, because 99% of you are not subscribed, and that's a pretty bad number. So if you like this one, be sure to click on that sub or thanks button below. Speaking of things, huge shout out to Miss Modab. Thank you for being a channel member. If you want to become a channel member and get shout outs in videos like this, click on that join button below. So, into the video itself. This is our action adventure game that we make in the action adventure course. We have a settings menu that we can use to actually navigate the different settings. We can adjust the graphical quality so that if you're on a slower computer, you can drop it down to low quality, medium quality, high quality, epic, and cinematic. And of course, the particles have to restart every time you reset this, but it does create and save those settings. Now, starting the game, we have a nice intro cinematic that kind of shows us layout of our first level. You may also notice some post-processing effects before this camera blends into the player camera. The post-processing effects add a bit of a blur and chromatic aberration to the camera itself while we're by this lava here. We also make the lava material, so we make a moving and panning material down there. We have some excellent lighting from Unreal Engine here. We do have full controller support as well. And if we lose, then it takes us back to the beginning, and we can see we get to start over here. We create a user interface as well. So we have a working health bar, coin counter, treasure counter, all that good stuff for our game. So we made it that time. Into this area, we see that we no longer have the camera effects and chromatic aberration, and we can actually play the game itself. We have some physics objects kind of rolling around, and we have two paths we can take. We can go forward and continue with our actual gameplay, or we can take this path to get that treasure up there. So I'm going to go ahead and get that treasure. So I'm going to run up here, and run up here, and run up here, and then bloop, got the treasure, and now I have my first treasure of the game. We can see that we started adding some landscaping and foliage here. It looks really nice. And you'll see that we can't actually jump up here because that's a puzzle mechanic. We've made it too tall to actually jump over. So we need to go push this cube over here, this box, so that we have something to actually jump off of. So that'll work nicely. And you notice that we're walking. So if I hold shift, we run. And if I don't hold shift, we walk. And I can also crouch. So I'm crouching here. All right, so we have our first enemy there kind of walking around. And we want to, one, hide from him because we don't want him to actually see us. And we want to distract him. So we're going to throw a rock. It's going to make a sound over there. And he's going to go investigate. So we have in our code AI that'll actually investigate sounds that it hears in the game, and we can actually demonstrate or choose which sounds we'd like him to interact with. So we can add footsteps or even explosions or things like that, but I don't want to engage that enemy right now because I don't have a weapon. Speaking of, we will be adding weapons. We also add destructible meshes, which we can see here. And there's quite a few other destructible meshes we'll be using in the game as well. If we continue, we have some lighting effects that flicker on and off. Those use blueprints. And we have an area that we can't get to because there's some spider web. So what do we need to do? Well, we need to go ahead and come over here and get this torch. So let's press E and we can grab the torch. And now The spider web is on fire, the torch is used, and we can go get this extra treasure. Pretty cool. We can go ahead and go back. And again, this does support controller. So if I were to run into this and it says press E to interact, if I were to be using a controller, it would actually switch the input method and show a X to interact, for example, instead. We can come over here and light this second spider web on fire. And now we have some foliage that we can hide in. So we have an enemy over there. We want to go ahead and get these coins, but we don't want to alert the enemy. So I'm going to go ahead and head over here and pick up the coins. Now we want to get through, but we don't want to alert this enemy. So let's go ahead and make a distraction again. I'm going to throw a rock. That rock's going to hit over there, and hopefully, yep, our enemy's going to go investigate. And I can run over here and get to the next area. Let's go ahead and collect this coin and this treasure, and we can even save the game. That way if we lose, we end up back at this point. I'm going to go ahead and pick up this weapon. And we can't seem to get up here because there's all this blocking the way, but we do see that the barricade has health, so let's go ahead and shoot that. If we right click, we aim down sight, so we can see that we get a nice aiming reticle when we're aiming, and then when we let go, it goes away. So let's go ahead and shoot this. And the health is gone. It rolls down, knocks those down, and we can get across. Let's go ahead and do that. Now, there's some enemies there, and a barrel, so I want to shoot that barrel. And we can see that the barrel was on a timer, and it actually killed that enemy. I can go over here, and this enemy just saw me, so he's going to aim at me and shoot me, and we can see that he just took health. So I'll shoot that one. And he's trying to get away. I'm going to go ahead and shoot him as well. Now we can go up this platforming area here, and I'm going to climb up here. And here's our first cinematic. And we can also see a little bit of a teaser going over there. We still have some rumbling with the ground shaking because of the destruction going on, and you'll see what that's going to cause shortly. So if I go ahead and walk down here, the cinematic starts, shaking occurs, and that big boulder is now falling. So we need to run in here and hide, and that boulder is going to roll right past us. And as long as we avoid it, we won't take any damage. So let's go ahead and pick up this coin. And we can see that not only are there some coins here, but the door's blocked off and I can't get through. So I'm going to have to actually find a new way through, and I think I just did. So we're going to shoot this and run away. And yep, it looks like that broke a hole through the wall and we can get through. This is our second use of destructible meshes here. And we see that our main NPC, when we get to the end of the bridge, is right there before we enter the game world and explore. So let's go ahead and run across the bridge. Oh, another cinematic. The bridge is breaking, and another use of destructible meshes. The bridge falls, and now we have to try and jump across. So I'm going to run and jump. Slow motion, a quick time event starts. I'm going to press X in time, and it's going to start a cinematic. That cinematic animation is going to start playing. It's a sequencer. He's going to try and climb up. We have triggered and timed events, so we can see that he slips and almost falls, and you can see some dust particles from that. And then he climbs all the way back up. And now we're on the other side. We see that the enemy is a metahuman that's actually based on me. I made him a little chunky, but that's a metahuman that I tried to make look like myself with some scanning and such. And then we go over here and we have our actual game. So you'll be able to make all that and more in my action adventure course at Game Dev TV. Definitely check it out if this is interesting to you. If you want to try out Unreal Engine 5 and learn about all the new features, this is a great starting point for that. And it's all in Blueprint, so it's really easy to learn and put together. And yeah, thank you so much for watching.
From conversations to games to interviews with a broader view. He keeps it fresh, always brings something new. It's MikeTheTech, 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 the architect, MikeTheTech, MikeTheTech, yeah, Mike.